Welcome to Adrianjayeonline, and today we're going to do a little bit of servicing on the 128. All the parts and stuff should be in the description below. As always, I'm going to say this beforehand because I'll probably forget. This is going to take a little while to do my stuff. Like and subscribe if you like this video. Really appreciate it. So the spark plugs are due around about 100k, between 80 and 100k on the BMW 128. So I've had some problems with coil packs going, and that's quite a common thing on the 128s. You can replace everything out all in one hit, but as my car is under warranty, I don't want to do that. So one at a time. So the spark plugs are warm. They can cause an issue with the coils. So it's a good idea to change them out. So as my car's coming up for the extended warranty's coming due to finish in a couple of months, I thought I'd just change them out. So I've got to change the plugs. While I'm at it, I'm going to do the air filter, and I'm also going to do the cabin filter. Get all those things done out of the way. So the shaded parts. This is the BMW air filter. This is the cabin filter. I've already got some of my tools. I'm a little bit, I don't know about the spark plugs. They're supposed to be thin wall, but these are pretty goddamn thin wall, so we'll see. And here we got our plugs. Now, what I would say to you is get the plugs from BMW because they are pre-gapped. When they go in, you don't need to mess around with them. Okay, that's the stock item piece. And also it tells you how much to tighten them up. But usually, and this is the thing I've done for years and years and years and never had a problem, hand tighten it and then just a quarter turn, and that's usually it. There's 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to take those screws out. So you need, it's a hex and it's 8mm. I want to show you something. You see this? These guys have used a power tool and it's cracked it. Can you see there? No crack. There, it's cracked. So try not to use power tools on these plastic things. Okay. Let's take this off. Now. Look at that. Dirty, filthy. To get this out, I don't know if you can see there's a clip here. You have to take those clips out. Like that, one there, one in the middle, and one there. And out it comes. What I do is get some of this disinfectant spray. If you don't want to replace the filter, then just give that a spray. Now this is just get a bit of that in there. There. Just a little bit of spray, because that's the air inlet into the cabin. And if there's anything that shouldn't be in there, that's a good way to clean it up. This is a bit of a tricky one. Don't know if you can see. And you see those clips? You have to, there. You have to kind of put the screwdriver behind there, clip it out, and then pull it away from you. Then this whole thing comes out. It's a bit difficult to do with my hand, so I'm going to try and put a zoom on it and see if you can see it. But there's a screwdriver there you need to get a clip. Okay, so if you see this bit here, that kind of is a clip which clips into here. You have to kind of push it down to pull this out. Okay. So another thing we have to take out, and it's kind of got these clips on. So you've got to, that's how it looks like there. Can you see? Get a screwdriver behind here, and this comes off. So you've got to take that one, and that one off. Kind of like that. That kind of gets pulled out from here. Can you see? You're pulling out from there because what we're trying to do is take this tray out. Okay. Next thing we have to do is take the cowling off. There's a clip here which we take off, and be careful when you take it out because I've broken things before. This should just come up like that. Bang. The same on here. And if you're wondering, if you've ever wondered where the brake fluid gets changed here, nice and covered up. So the next thing you do is you get this sensor, turn it clockwise. There's like a little thing there, can you see? And that comes out. Kaplop. Next you've got these bolts. It's an 8mm bolt there and one on that side which we have to take out. Now, you see down here, I'll get some light. Just get some light down there. Can you see there's like a filter tray, like an air tray. Now this was all gunked up with leaves. So this is what's behind there. You need to pull this. This kind of protects the leaves coming in here. And I don't know where that goes to. That's probably a drain of some sort. And it's probably not a good idea for that to be gunked up. So take care as much as you can. I used a hoover to kind of get into the crevices. There's another one on the other side. The other side was good. The idea is that this should actually just come out. What do you think? I think we're going to be lucky. Let's have a try. And oh yes, look at that. The whole thing does come out. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm going to do? I've got another little part of the project. I want to clean this up and spray paint this. Yeah, I'm going to clean up and spray paint it. I'm going to show you the finished result. Yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of a break, grab a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to come back. So don't go your way. Okay. So the next thing to do is to take there's two Allen keys, two bolts here. They're Allen keys, 5mm, one here and one here. I've done that already. Okay, so they should be 5mm Allen bolts. There's two more at the back. One there, and one there. Well, hold the horses. These aren't Allen bolts. So Faf, who has only done the work on this car, have lost those two, and they've put other bolts in there, which is not necessarily an issue, but I always like my stuff to be original. So I'm going to get, they're not going to be 5mm. I'm going to work out what they are and take them out. Take the cover off. Is this going to work? Oh, looks like something's coming out. Ta-da! There we go. Cover out. Okay, so now what we're going to have to do is take the wiring harness off. So what you do is you lift this up. This pulls out. So what I'm going to do is do all the other 5. Okay, so I've taken all of them. What you have to remember when you're pulling this, make sure it goes all the way back. You'll hear a click. That means this is disengage this. Don't pull on these cables. This is the whole wiring harness. You will be totally screwed. So just a little bit of wiggling and you should be good. So we have to take these out. You see, there is actually, you can buy a special tool which takes them out. You don't need to. See this hole? Screwdriver. Watch. Bam. And that's the coil pack. So what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I don't want to mess around with the coil packs. The coil packs have been changed. So I know which coil packs are faulty and which were faulty, which were new. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out one at a time and I'm going to lay them on the ground so I know. So I'm going to take these out now, okay? We've taken all of these out. You can see some of these have got like a silver heat shield around them. They stay in the cylinders. So I don't know why they come out when they come out of that, but hey. If I remember rightly, plugs 2 and 5, that one and that one, were changed. It's a nice shot of the spark plugs. This one should be fairly easy to take out, but those ones I'm going to have some fun, especially with this one. I might need to make an angle thing. So next stage is to get the pluggies out. Tell you something, they've tightened these up way too tight. So I'm going to take them out and then show you the result. I had to finagle it out with my thing and it's not working. But I have this, which is a special spark plug tool. Should be able to just pull it out. So what you need is one of these. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each spark plug out, put each spark plug by its number so I know what it is to check it out, and we'll come back in a minute. Okay guys, a little update. This is a BMW spark plug, okay? If you look at the threads are fine. Plug 1, plug 2 were difficult to take out. Very tight. These may well have been over tightened, but I'm going to show you a trick that one of the guys on the forums showed me. Reclaimer, thanks man. You have to use a breaker bar. Now that is mental for me, having to use a breaker bar on a spark plug, because what you're doing is you're putting it on here and turning it. You really don't want to use a lot of force in case these screw up. The other thing you need to do, you need to have the engine stone cold. Forget what anyone else tells you. Forget any other advice you're doing. It's aluminium engine head, aluminium this, and it's actually chromed. Okay, it's got a special coating on there from NGK. Must be stone cold, otherwise this is gripping. I put a little shot of PB Blaster in there, and you have to use a really big, excuse the French, someone using now, buck off big breaker bar. I have, I'll show you this, which is a 16mm kind of low profile thin wall jig thingamajig. Now this is only available in a, see there, 3/8. Okay, that's not enough. You need a 1/4 inch drive. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any of these. Now the reason I went out specifically and got this is because that's what a lot of the forums were saying. And one of the other guys was saying, hey, you don't need it. Guess what? You don't. So this, can you see, is just an ordinary deep reach socket. It's 16mm. Now if you can see in here, how many points can you see on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points. Look at this. 16 point. Now when you have a bolt like this is also works for wheel nuts, you need as much contact area on here to turn it. On these, and including the BMW tool that I saw, it's only got a teeny tiny bit, so you risk stripping it, rounding it off, and there's not enough pressure on there. But if you use this one, you've got more force on there, and I'm going to show you how you take it off. Get it into the into there, and then just slowly turn up. I've actually already loosened it, but you would actually get it like this. Turn very, very slowly. That's all you need. Then you can go back and start taking the rest of it. So you need this, a breaker bar. You need a 3/4 inch drive, deep reach socket with 6 point. So in order to get this one out, you do have to take this bar out. One there, and one in there. And in case you don't know what they're called e-torques. And the size is an E14 for the small one, and E18 for the big one. Right, let's crack on. So we've all got all the spark plugs out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you do need to take this out, absolutely. Now, if these weren't so tight, then you'd be okay. But as you saw, I had to use a breaker bar. What I'm going to do next is this is a touchy subject. NGK will tell you do not put anything on these threads. BMW will tell you don't put any of these threads. Majority of people say will put a little bit of something on these threads to stop them locking. As you saw, the problem I had. Now, there's some threads on the web about anti-seize, the oil burns off and it kind of turns like into a paste, which is why you can't take it out. So instead what I'm going to do, tried and old tester, what I used to do back in the day. I'm just going to smear a little bit of oil on here. So don't know if you can see that, but just a little thin smear, because I'm not going to. Now the problem is with putting oil on this is that in theory you can over torque them. So what I'm going to do is kind of under torque them a little bit. Then I'm going to wipe the excess off and fill them. Do for 2. Get your spark plug, put it on there, like that. Then you can put it in, give it a couple of turns by hand, then got the thing, very slowly, make sure you don't misthread this. One first, which goes in there nicely, which it does. Turn it. It's turning nicely. Done. I'm going to do the rest and then torque them up. Thing I forgot to mention is when you're putting it in the hole, make sure that you don't hit the contact against anything in case you knock it, bend it and take it out of alignment. Got all 6 in. I'm going to get my trusty tool and I'm going to just very gently tighten them up by hand. Okay, that feels tight. I've got my torque wrench set up to 30 Newton meters as it says. So we're gonna go in there slowly. I use my old trusty 20 foot-pounds, 20 foot-pounds, and they all clicked, so we're good. Get the plugs back in. Sorry, get these in. They just fit. Bang. Just sure that when you're putting a, because obviously this will go anyway, make sure that this is pointing out to the front. So when you put it in, it clicks, it closes in. Okay, so I'm going to take you around. So we've got all of them back on again, as you can see here, nicely. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just have a quick double check. Everything is in its place. I'm going to start her up. I'm scared. Will it start? I don't know. Make sure that all this stuff is not in the way. And then I'm going to start it up and see what happens. That's a big thumbs up. So now I'm going to put everything back. Actually, I'll have to do the air filter. But you've seen how I've done the air filter. So I'm going to do everything, put everything back and show it to you with the paint tray, which I've, with that tray, because I've done a little something. Yeah. Hope it's good. So, time to do the air filter. So you have to remove that screw and that screw. It's, I don't know what size bolt it is. It's a 10 mil bolt. And then we're going to crack on. We'll have to take lever this, once these two are off. Next thing we have to do is kind of pry this off. There it goes. There's a screw there, which is locked to this, and then we can pull it out. When you take that screw out there, you've got this, you've got a sensor here. You've got to pull this clip up, pull this out, and then this kind of frees everything. Then you pull it out. Let's have a look. Show you. So that's the one of the air sensors. And everything looks okay in here. Now we have to remove the air filter from the... Actually, correction, they're stars, star torques, but I haven't got a star torque. I don't know how I did this last time. I think I just used a small screwdriver. If you're very careful, you can use a screwdriver to just release them. You should really always have the right tools. If you don't, that's okay. You do the best you can. You improvise. So, again, in these cars, it's ridiculous the amount of complexity that needs to go into to do any work. It's crazy. 2 more in here. I thought there was 6, but there's 8. Makes sense, right? So let's get this out. A lot of working on cars is a lot of improvisation, especially if you've got the right tools. Here we go. And cracked. So let's have a look at the filter. That's dirty. So, as you can see, I don't know if you would say that's worn to excess, but it's certainly installation is reversed. Put the lid on, stick it back in again, put it onto the hose, the clip, and the 2 screws, and that's it, done. You another view. So this is the thing you have to take off. It's a bit easy to see here now. I'm at the right angle, and that's that thread. That screw, take that screw off, that loosens this up, then you have to kind of finagle it out. So we've fitted it all back, and now I've just got to put those 2 screws and we're done. So I managed to get it all back in. This is a bit of a bitch trying to get in, but I don't know if you can see, I've painted that body colour, but I haven't put the gloss on it, so it's just kind of a dull kind of a colour. So, I like that. That doesn't look too bad. By the way, I've started the car up to make sure everything starts up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything back and then take it for a test drive and see what happens. It's a bit of a beastie of a job, but I managed to get everything in. It's also a pain getting these in. I had a problem with a line in this tray up. I'm not sure what's wrong, and I had to kind of finagle these in. So I'll have to have a look at my my thing to see if there's a gap there, but that's the best that I could do. So yeah, it should all be okay. So I'm going to take it for a drive, and that's it. I think it should be good. The only thing I should have done was I wanted to change the oil cap. Sometimes the oil cap has got a ventilation in there as well, so it's good every now and again to change that out. So from yours truly, BJ, saying peace out. Thanks for bearing with me with this difficult build. It took me a couple of days, only because I do a lot of running around and stuff. So follow all the steps, look through, make sure you have all the tools and you have all the knowledge to do it, and then you should be good. So from yours truly, BJ, Adrian J, saying peace out. Bye for now.